Have you been feeling a strange ache inside, like something in your life doesn't fit anymore? Almost as if you're wearing clothes that don't match your body, or you're living a life that doesn't feel like it's truly yours? You might be asking yourself, why does everything feel off, even when nothing looks wrong from the outside? Deep down, you already know the answer. The life that once felt like home now feels more like a hallway, just a passage, not a destination. Think about the way you used to speak just to avoid silence, the dreams you kept hidden because you didn't want to scare people with how serious they were, the moments you stayed quiet just to keep things comfortable for others. That version of you, the one that kept your true self tucked away, is slowly fading. And your body can feel the shift. You're tired in a way you've never been before. Certain places leave you drained. Certain people no longer feel like home, even if they've been in your story for years. And you're not confused, because you know you're changing. This isn't a small change. It's not just about new habits or new routines. God is literally changing your body, preparing you to carry something greater than your old life could hold. The resistance you feel right now, that's your mind and body trying to protect what's familiar. They've been programmed to hold on to patterns, to preserve what once kept you safe, even if it now feels too small. But your soul doesn't want the kind of safety that keeps you from truly living. Your soul knows the truth God placed inside you before you were even born. It knows what's real, what's right, and what belongs to you. And when your current life starts drifting away from that truth, your soul speaks up. Sometimes it whispers through restlessness. Sometimes it presses on you with a heaviness you can't explain. Sometimes it shakes every part of your life until you can't ignore it anymore. And it's not because you've done something wrong. It's because you're ready for more. But most of us are taught to silence that voice. We're told we're overthinking. We're told to be grateful for what we have. We start comparing our lives to the polished images we see online. We convince ourselves, maybe if I work harder, if I smile more, if I just pretend everything is fine, maybe then the ache will go away. Here's the truth. You were never meant to blend in. If your life looked exactly like everyone else's, what would be the purpose of God choosing you? Your path was never going to be smooth or predictable because you weren't called to comfort. You were called to carry something sacred. And that sacred thing needs room. It needs a body strong enough to hold it. It needs a life that fits. So yes, the shift feels strange. Yes, your body resists. Yes, your mind clings to the familiar. But God isn't asking your comfort for permission. He's asking your spirit to follow the truth He's already planted inside you. You're being loosened from the survival systems that kept you alive so that you can finally step into a life that allows you to truly live. Your soul already knows where this is going. It's not waiting for a sign. It's been speaking the same truth for years. But now, it's no longer whispering. It's shouting, because you're ready. And this change, it's not just emotional. It's physical. That tiredness you can't explain. That ache in your chest when you ignore your gut. The sudden pull away from things and people that once made you feel important. That's not weakness. That's God rewiring you. You are not the same person you used to be, so your body cannot move the same way it used to. Your mind cannot stay loyal to the same distractions. And this is a good thing, because when you start to look inward instead of outward, when you choose alignment over performance, clarity starts to come. It won't be all at once. It won't be perfect, but will feel enough certainty to say, I know this is my path. even if no one else understands it yet. You might be the only one in your circle who feels this, the only one who can't go back to pretending, the only one who sees through the noise. That's not proof you're wrong. It's proof you're chosen. Being chosen doesn't always feel powerful. Sometimes it feels lonely. Sometimes it feels like you can't unsee what you've seen. But you're not alone. You're being called forward. Now let's talk about what this shift actually feels like. It's not glamorous. It's not always peaceful. And it definitely doesn't look like the spiritual breakthroughs people like to post about. Sometimes it feels like losing interest in everything that once made you excited. Like watching yourself go through the motions. Like knowing something has to change, but not knowing where to start. And while it feels like you're stuck, you're not. You're just out of alignment with a life that no longer speaks your soul's language. That's why everything feels tight. That's why you're tired in ways rest can't fix. That's why you can feel alone even in a crowd. Your body clings to the familiar because it equates familiarity with safety, even if that familiarity is draining you spiritually. But your soul has already moved on. That's why the pressure inside you is building. The tension you feel is not a weakness, it's a signal. It's your inner life saying, this no longer fits. And not because you're failing, but because you're succeeding in stepping toward what's right. When God reminds you of your purpose, your posture changes. And when your posture changes, your path shifts. Sometimes that means breaking old routines. Sometimes it means crying without knowing why. Sometimes it means waking up at night with an ache you can't name. But this is not falling apart. It's being rearranged. It's uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. But it's holy because it's intentional. The life around you has become too small for what God is forming inside you. You may not feel understood right now. You may not feel productive. You may not feel like you're moving fast enough. But your soul doesn't care about speed. It wants alignment. You've been led by love before, but now you're being led by truth. And truth is not always soft. Sometimes it feels like disruption. Sometimes it feels like everything falling apart, so something deeper can come together. That voice telling you to just be grateful for what you have, that voice is trying to protect your past, but it's not equipped to build your future. So if you feel restless, if something inside you refuses to settle, it's because God is bringing you into a life your body hasn't yet caught up to. Your nervous system is still wired for survival. Your mind is still filtering decisions through the lens of acceptance. But your purpose isn't here to be accepted. It's here to bring peace to your soul. The moment you stop waiting for permission and start listening inward again, something will shift. Not because discomfort disappears overnight, but because you'll stop fighting a battle that's already won. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're becoming this. And becoming is rarely neat. It's rarely clear, but it's honest and it's holy. So if your body is tired, rest. If your emotions are scattered, give them space. If your mind is racing, bring it back to stillness. Because your soul has never been confused. It knows. It has always known. And the more you listen, the clearer it becomes. Not to overwhelm you, but to remind you. You're not meant to keep adjusting to a life your spirit has already left. You're being invited higher. God isn't just changing your situation. He's changing you from the inside out, so you can finally step into the life that was always meant for you.